Was that a road allowance community at Crooked Creek?
No.
Crooked Lake?
Crooked Lake, no, it wasn't. People were living here and there all over for a while. Like we lived up the hill, at the foot of the hill, and my grandfather lived way by the lake, you know, and houses here and there. And then after they got the Métis settlement, and everybody got together, and it was just like a little village to them, and the school was there too. So.
What did your mom and dad do? I mean, how did you grow up? Did your dad farm?
No, my dad wasn't farming. My dad had polio when he was young, and he was crippled, so he couldn't very well work. Just the farmers would give him some easy jobs to do, and with the family allowance, and that's the kind of the living they made, you know. That's all the money they had coming to them, like, you know. And when we were at age to go to work, my dad used to take us out of school, and send us to work to support ourselves, because it was getting a little harder for him to try and support too many kids, because there was about 5 of us.
What kind of work did you do?
When my dad told me to quit school and go to work, I worked for a farmer in Dubuque. That's not too far from here, because the guy's wife was pregnant, and they wanted somebody to look after the kids when she goes to the hospital. And I went there, and I worked in the fields, helped the guy before his wife went to the hospital, and after she went to the hospital, I stayed and looked after the kids till she came back. And then I left from there and went back home. Well, of course I couldn't stay.
Must have been hard, eh?
Yeah, so I had to hike from there, hike to Yorkton by myself. So it was hard.
People don't realize how hard it was, especially for young women in those days.
It was. I had blisters on my feet because I was walking all the time. I was supposed to talk, Michif, and I'm not even talking.
That's okay. Just remember, switch to it when you feel like it. So what did you do when you got to Yorkton?
To Yorkton, I found a job in a cafe. I worked till my brother-in-law, his wife left him, and I had to quit working and go look after his kids. Never got nothing out of it, of course, as usual. So his wife left him, and never heard from her ever since.
So you looked after the kids?
I looked after the kids.
What was it like when you were at home?
Well, the call get done. Yeah, we had to cross the river. We called it Tean. We used to walk 6 miles. We called. Well, in the summertime, it wasn't too bad, but on hiver, we had to walk, like, you know, cold or not. We had to go to school. And my dad was a very mean man. I'll say he was a very mean man. But I say thanks to him that he was that mean to us, like, you know, because we were scared to do anything wrong because we knew we were going to get a licking. You know, we thought twice before we do anything wrong because he was very mean. But I say thanks to my dad for doing that to me, because maybe I wouldn't have been where I am now. You know.
How long did it take you? How many hours did you get to school? 6 miles. 6 miles.
Sometimes we used to have to leave at 7:30, 8 o'clock. But to me, it didn't seem that far.
You did it on foot?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes we'd catch a ride, and my dad would get mad at us because people are giving us a ride. He wanted us to walk.
Some of these old guys.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's hard. What when we were out at the land, they were mud plastering, and they made a little log house,
Mm-hmm.
and they were mud plastering it. Did you guys have to do that?
Yeah.
Tell me about your house.
Well, when we were living across from my grandpa's there, Papa used out in maison closer to the school, And I liked it, He made the house all by himself.
And you guys?
And yeah, I remember making mud with my feet, Mama used to roll up our pants and
all jump around. What time of the year, Mananma, they used to plaster every house?
Mostly in the fall. They used to plaster their house just in case the mud would come off while they plaster it for winter to get it ready for the winter.
Did you guys whitewash it or do anything like that?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me that? Because we want to be able to tell the kids that.
No, for whitewash the house, I just don't remember how they did it.
Did you haul everything out of the house? Inside,
Yeah. Well, when Dad made put that house in, we had to do everything before we brought the stuff in. Fixed the house up, but he didn't put no rooms yet. But we moved in like that, because this closer to the school for us then.
Where did you meet Gilbert?
In Yorkton.
At a dance?
Well, really to say, I went. I went to the bar.
Oh, okay. No, I thought maybe you met him at a dance.
No.
Do you have any memories of going to dances or anything when you were young?
When I was at home? No. Papa nungi pakitnik.
More?
No. I was 16. Kapit nungi pakitnik. Udasi tatiyan. Mo frere per kwa ki kwechi me papa. Mate ke kastahan udasi tatiyan vet mo frere. And Papa ite ya ite bat kaya yak pakan ko ichu musta ite yaki ite, Then no yaki ite Papa no ki ite. Apre get step ko kape shaki vet ki penat yuchket muste tanshe takamishi.
Man Papa gagito tafi.
That was sneaky. So that's all that I had to do. Як му фрер вич мустовак. И гарсон пеко че ми корто вич мустовак. Помоя. Ja, ik was hen peko che mik. Pawa we to the hit. Oh, there wasn't a chance. I couldn't go.
You never tried sneaking out?
There wasn't a chance for me to try and sneak out, because I know I would have got a good licking after I got home.
Sewing, Maga? You're sewing, quilting, blankets?
Mama used to do that, She used to do the sewing. She was a woman that no gido kunan to wash her when she does something. She didn't want us around. We had to stay away, you know. And even cooking, she didn't want us to be around. She didn't teach us anything. So when I started working, I had to try and teach myself how to cook and all that.
Gardens, yeah, no.
Yeah. Mama, she used to make big gardens. But Givichihanan, like, you know, well, she was getting a little old too, so Givichihanan to make the gardens. And we clean it, you know.
Canning, hitote na. Lots of canning.
No, Mama, she didn't can very much. No, she didn't can very much.
So when you met Gilbert, did you have a big wedding?
No.
No. Road lounge skispechen?
No, never. No, that road lounge given with Gilbert. After we got together, we moved to Alberta. And my son could take in Tokyo. And and he worked at the mine, and we moved to Stockholm and Esterhazy. No, I never lived in the road lounge with Gilbert. Our school, there used to be white and natives going to school, and we couldn't hardly talk English because Mom used to talk Cree to us all the time, eh? So we couldn't understand English too much when we started school, but we caught on, like, you know, because we were with white kids and they were talking to us, you know. So, and I took only let me see now. Yeah, I just started my grade 6 when Dad told me to quit, that I had to go to work. He found me a job, so I was forced to quit and go to work because he couldn't support me anymore. So.
Did you like going to school?
Well, I like going to school just for fighting. I was just fighting. I was just like a tomboy. I used to fight. Boys or girls didn't make any difference to me. I was bad. That's why I guess I just got to grade 6.
Were you close to your other brothers and sisters?
I had 2 brothers, but one left to go to the army when I was just small. I remember it, you know. And the other one, well, he stuck around for a while, and when he got about 16, he left too. So we just had only 2 brothers in our family, and
You had 2 sisters?
Pardon me?
You had 2 sisters?
No, I had, 6 sisters. Yeah, there was 10 of us all together. Or 7 sisters. There was 10 of us all together anyway. But they all left, like what I said, at the age we all had to go because my dad couldn't support us. Because he was limping and he got that polio, and there's no such thing as welfare, so.
It's a hard life.
It is. You come to think of it, it's kind of sad, you know. Especially when I had to leave home. When I left home, I had no way to come to Yorkton. So I hiked. I got about 12 miles, and it was dark. And I knew a family that lived in that beach, but I couldn't find them. It was getting too dark already. So I found a bathroom and I stayed in that bathroom all night. I slept in there. I covered up the holes and I slept in there. Early morning I left again. And I walked. And the people that I knew seen me walking. Then I figured, well, they took their kids to school. So I figured, well, he's going to go and tell Dad that he saw me walking up the hill, you know. So I kept walking, and all of a sudden when I got on top of the hill, all of a sudden I heard this horse coming. And all I seen was a big whip, you know. I figured, oh no, it's Dad for sure. So I jumped into a bunch of willows alongside the road, jumped into a bunch of willows. When I jumped into a bunch of willows, I scared a jumper. He scared me and I scared him. So I just took a little peek and I noticed this guy, I knew this guy that was on a horseback, so I came out. And he says, what you doing? I told him, I'm hiking to Yorkton. So he says, well, he says, maybe you can ride the horse for a ways. He says, no, walk, he said, you know. So he put me on his horse and I rode the horse and he walked beside the horse, like, you know. And then after when we had to part, and he went his way and I went my way. And my feet were all blistered up when I got to my sister Margaret's in Prison Lake there. Lots of times I'd cry when I think of it, how much I suffered. Kids nowadays have it easy.
Did that happen to the rest of your sisters too? They had to leave like that?
There's just only the 3 younger ones. They didn't have to leave.
Mary, what was Crooked like as a community when you grew up? It was all Michif people in the community?
Yeah, one side of the river, it was all natives and few whites.
Métis?
Yeah. But on the other side of the river was Indians reserve, like, you know.
How do people get along?
Well, for me, I used to get along with them, like, you know. It didn't bother me any. In fact, I used to chum around with them, like, you know, the girls.
Do you have any real fond memories of growing up in Crooked Lake? Is there anything stands out that made you feel good growing up there? Something that stands out in your life there? Something that makes you feel good?
Well, not really, because I had too much of a rough life when I was down there when I was growing up. It was too rough on me. Like that one time, in the winter time we were going to school and my dad got a box of clothes. There was a fur coat there, you know, a brown and yellow fur coat, 3/4 length. My dad wanted me to wear that. Well, at the age of 15, you're not going to go to school with a fur coat, eh? So he told me, wear that to school. I told him, no, Dad, I don't want to wear it. Kids are going to laugh at me. He says, no. He says, you wear it. I told him, no. So I took it just to please him. Took it and I put it on. And he says, you go to school with it. I told him, no, Dad, I'm not. So when he took off his belt, I know what I was going to get, eh? But for answering my dad, I know what I was going to get. So the table was in the center of the floor because there's too many of us to sit around the table, eh? To have the table against the wall. So when he took off his belt, I got up, and I ran around the table. And he chased me around the table with his strap. So I grabbed that coat, I took it off, and I slung it on top of the table, and I took off. I took off to school. But boy, when I got home, look out. I got it. I would have been better off to wear that coat, take that coat along and hide it in a bush someplace. I wouldn't have got a licking then. He would have thought that I had wore it to school.
So you got no fond memories about that?
No.
Did women, all the women have to work hard like that though?
Yeah. But there's, yeah, the woman used to work hard all the time. Mom worked hard too. You know, she used to wash and bake and, you know.
Did she go to the hospital to have her babies, or did she have them at home?
I think she had them at home.
You don't remember?
Because I remember one, sure, the next one to me. She had that one because my sister Martha, the one that's in Yorkton here, she had to take us to my uncle's up the hill. She had to take us all there, like, you know, because Mom was going to have a baby. And Mom had a wart on her neck here. I remember that. When we came home, they brought us home. I seen this baby on a swing, eh? You know, they used to have swings for the babies. No, the baby was just swinging there. And I looked. I didn't kind of like it too much, you know, because I got the boot. So Mom was feeding the baby, and I went and looked at that baby, and I slapped Mom, you know. I hit her and I knocked that wart off her neck. I remember that so plain. I was so mad, you know, because I got the boot.
You don't know who the midwife was, huh?
No, I really don't know. I think one of them was my grandma, I'm pretty sure. It was one of my dad's mom. I'm pretty sure that was one of them.
What did they do when you got sick, when you guys got sick, if there was 10 of you? And what happened when kids got sick? Did they pick medicine? I mean, can't say he's not the way away.
No, we had a nurse. There was some kind of a nurse at the mission across the river, and a priest. That's the one that used to come and see the person is sick. Come and see them if they're too sick. Well, they used to bring them to Melville, to the hospital. Because when I got sick, I remember that nurse and that priest had to bring me to Melville, to the hospital.
Do you remember the priest's name?
I don't know. I don't remember the priest's name, no.